Okay, good morning, everybody. As usual, you have to test this to be sure that we are doing the right thing. Okay, good morning. So, basically, what we'll be looking at today is totally different from what you have been seeing in the previous videos. Today, we understand that there are so many things that might be some of the factors why you won't gain admission. One of those things could be that you might be one of those that what you are pursuing is not what you should be pursuing. One simple truth that you need to know about life is there is always a path that everyone in life has to follow. And if your own path is towards a particular direction and you are trying to head towards another direction, there is a theory that states that if it is divinely destined for you to follow this path, there will always be a force that will always drag you back to your path. But then I will not dive deep into that. I will not, make you feel as if there is something special or something ominous about everything that I want to discuss with you. But still, if you want to gain admission into Nigeria university, any Nigerian university, you want to gain admission into that university, there are certain things you need to put into consideration. And these things are the things that I'll be discussing with you today. I am trying as much as possible to sit in the frame of the screen so that you will not be seeing another thing. And if you can hear me clearly, please let me know in the comment section. I will try as much as possible to see what we have in the chat. So, and before we continue, before we proceed with this, I'll be sharing this with everyone that I know of. So kindly share this video with your friends as much as we are starting this live video now, because I'll be revealing the tips to gaining admission, and not just gaining admission and at the same time an admission that will put food on your table. Because what is the essence, what is the sense in gaining admission into a tertiary institution and in the long run you discover that that admission cannot put food on your table? And it is not all courses, it is not all the courses in the university that you must apply to. There are some courses that you must not just apply for them. And another thing is this: there are some courses as well that they are not meant for everyone. And it is not all these big courses alone that will put reasonable food on your table in the long run. So it transcends the idea of, oh, I want to gain admission, I want to study medicine, I want to study law. There are some that you don't need to study medicine. In some cases, you don't need to study medicine or to study law before you can become what you want to be. So this video is basically devoted to helping you navigate admission process, and not just to navigate admission process, to help you streamline your focus on a course that will put good food on your table in the long run. That is, even if you scored low in UTME, you can still gain admission to study reasonable course. So today, that is what I'll be sharing with you. And I'm trying what I'm doing right now. For some of you that might be like, what is this man doing? He's supposed to be talking to us. I am trying to share this with some of my students for them to join. And I also implore you to share this video with everyone that you know. Share this video with everyone that you know, because I'm very sure by the time we'll be through with this, the information you would have gathered from this video will be so much that you will be so happy to bring other people to join us in the next one. Because my plan is that on a regular basis that we should be doing this so that everyone in Nigeria will gather reasonable information to navigate any admission, to navigate admission into any tertiary institution effortlessly. Is that taken? So let me try to share this with few other friends or some students as usual. Share this and also remember to share this with your friends. There are some of your friends that you know that they scored something terrible. Did I say something terrible? I'm sorry for that. They scored very low in the just concluded UTME, and you know that they must go to school. Share this link with them. Let them join me live. And the beautiful thing about this live video is that you can always ask questions and answers will be given to you. That is response to all these questions will be given to you real time without having the need to, consult one person that will tell you to pay, that huge amount of money. So just make sure you share this with a friend and tell the friend to also share with a friend, because in the next 5 minutes, I'll be revealing everything you need to know. I'll be revealing it with you without wasting your time. And by the time you are through with this live video, you would have gained a lot from this. And that's, in fact, this video is basically designed to inform your decision on how to navigate admission process in Nigeria without any stress. Is that taking? Most especially if you scored low in UTME. There are some parents that are fun, that are very funny. Not even some parents. The system is so funny that if you scored low in an examination like this, it is going to be concluded that uh, you cannot do anything reasonable with your life. You are this, you are that, you are this, you are that. But the simple truth is this: there are so many courses out there that you can apply to. And you will not just apply to them and, apply for the course for the sake of applying for the course. By the time you are through with the course, you discover that you'll be far better than someone that applied for a very, for one of those courses that everyone sees as, huge course. And another thing is this: some students, they apply to study in a university, they apply to study a particular course because of the name the course has. Don't let me start mentioning names now. By the time we dive deep into the video, you know what I'm talking about. They apply to study just because the name is sounding so beautiful. What will a beautiful name, what will it do to you when you are through with your university education? If that beautiful name cannot put food on your table, why are you studying that course? Some of you, you are applying to study a particular course because of, maybe because of the emotion you have attached to it, or because you saw someone that maybe the person said, I did this, I did that. And for that reason, you now want to apply for that course just because of not just affinity for the course now, maybe because of biasness or because of, unguided emotion. That might eventually lead to you crying in the long run. So this video is basically for those that want to make something reasonable out of their life, even with low JAMB score. Yes, this video is basically meant for those that want to make something reasonable with their life with low JAMB score. So don't fidget. Just try to watch this. Just stay with me all through this whole process. And by the time we'll be through with this, you will thank yourself to have done well, to watch everything to the very end. So trust me, I am just trying to, and this is the last one that I'm sharing. Okay, we've already eaten deep into our time, but don't worry, we are here together. I'm just trying to share this with some of your friends that we need it. Good. I think this is a whole lot better now. Okay, my name is Shiju Adeolushola Samson from Akadai Institutos. I am the CEO of Akadai Institutos. I started this organization a few years ago, and to the glory of God, even with the fact that we started a few years ago, owing to my expertise and the help of God, we have been able to see so many students, not just hundreds of students. We've been able to see them gain admission into tertiary institutions. Into universities in Nigeria without having it to break the bank and without necessarily studying what life tosses at them. So our students basically have been studying great courses. We have students that that are studying medicine, law, that are studying accounting in prestigious universities. Yet we understand that there are some candidates as well that they really want to study all these, big courses, but their UTME score will not permit them or give them the opportunity to study those courses. So what do we do to them? Do we let them write UTME again? If you are one of those that are not willing to write UTME again, this video is for you. If you are not willing to write UTME again, this video is for you. Trust me. If you scored low, maybe you didn't score up to 200, and you are not willing to write UTME again, just make sure you watch this video with me to the very end. So in this video, I'll be revealing 7 different courses, a broad discipline that you can study in the university with a low JAMB score, and you make something reasonable out of your life, because a lot of people are not paying attention to that or to those courses. So just remain calm. Watch this with me. Remember to share this with your friends. Just share this video with your friend. Just share this video with your friend. Let a lot of them join. Bring your friends in. Tell them to join. And you enjoy this. Now, without wasting your time, let us dive straight into it. The very last video that I'll be sharing with you in this particular series is actually the one that will blow your mind away. And the reason for that is this particular course will not just give you an opportunity to study with a low JAMB score, it will also give you the opportunity to explore other fields. You might eventually end up becoming what you want to become just because you are studying the last one that I'm going to discuss with you. So I will implore you, stay with me, remain with me to the very end of this video. Now, the very first course that we'll be looking at when we are to talk about studying in a university with low UTME score, let us assume you scored something lower than 200. And some of these prestigious universities like Obafemi Awolowo University, Unilag, University of Ibadan, they demand 200. So those universities that demand 200 for you or before you can apply to them, don't even think of going to those universities. You might be looking at it that, is this man trying to limit me? No, I'm not trying to limit you. There are some universities that you don't have to go to because of your JAMB score. If you scored 199 and you are applying to any of those universities that I've mentioned, they will not even give you the opportunity to write post-UTME. So you won't try their post-UTME, and you would have to wait for another year. So what you need to do is, if you scored anything below 200 and you applied to a university that the cutoff mark is nothing less than 200, I will implore you to go to a CBT center right now and change your course or change your institution. The first thing is change your institution to an institution that accepts a cutoff mark within the range of what you have scored. That is number one. Another thing is also change to any of these courses that I will be mentioning to you. Make sure you change to any of the courses that I will be mentioning to you, because if you can follow this, I can assure you that your admission into any of those universities will not be difficult. Trust me, it will not be difficult. So the very first one, you might look at it that it is a slap on your face, but I am very, very serious about this. And in the long run, maybe after you finish studying this course, you come back to tell us. You might even find a way to locate this video and type in it that thank you for guiding me to study this course. The very first course is what everyone needs in Nigeria. It is one of those courses that, in fact, everyone is running away from. They will tell you, don't do this, don't do that. But when you study that course, you will not just gain admission with a low UTME score. You will gain admission, and in the long run, you will become a better person. Not just becoming a better person, you become a better version of yourself, because you'll be able to cater to the needs of yourself and everyone around you. And that course is any course that circumvents around agriculture. Please have it at the back of your mind that Nigeria is an agro-based economy. Forget about the fact that we are talking about crude oil. The question is, if you went to the university to study petrochemical engineering, how many graduates have had encounter with crude oil one-on-one? Or how many graduates, not even graduates, how many people have ever, in the whole of this country, how many people can boast of having oil well? Just few fortunate ones. And these few fortunate ones, they are not just fortunate, they are political undertones to it. They are political, they are political games that have been played for them to have all this. So if you are believing that, oh, Nigeria is oil based and Nigeria is blessed with a lot of resources and this and that, and you now think because of that, petrochemical engineering, and you want to study it instead of this, instead of agriculture, or because I'm telling you to study agriculture, you now feel agriculture will not be okay for you in the long run. You are making a very big mistake. One thing you have to consider before applying to any course or before applying to study any course in any tertiary institution is, when you are through with this course, what is the career prospects of this course? What I mean by career prospects is, what can you do? What exactly can you do with this particular course? What can you do with this particular course? Is it that when you are through, you will now start looking for a way, or you now start looking for a job up and down, and they will tell you that, oh, for this type of course that you have studied, we do not have an employment opportunity for you. Are you with me? So if you are going to the university to study a course that they will tell you that they don't have employment opportunity for you just because of the course you have studied, it means that you have gone to the university to waste your time. It is just a mere waste of time. So agricultural science or anything that circumvents around agriculture will really help you, because there are so many companies now. There are so many companies that are coming up, they are coming forth, they are springing forth, and basically what they are doing is that they are ready to employ top-notch individuals or top-notch graduates, or graduates generally, who studied anything related to agriculture in the university. They will not just give you an employment opportunity, but their payment is handsome because it is science related. So for anyone who is science oriented, let us assume that you went to the university to study anything related, or better still, okay, let me just put it this way. Let us assume that in your secondary school, you were in the science department. Why can't you apply for this course if you scored something low in UTME? And please, when you're applying for it, don't think of applying to universities that demand 200 as a minimum entry requirement. Apply to universities that they don't demand much. All you just need to do is just make sure you apply with what you have. There are some universities like Ekiti State University. I think last year they accepted 140. Yes, they accepted 140. Another university is Federal University or Ekiti. They accepted 180. And if you check the courses that I told you about, go and check. I will even try to provide the link of their previous acceptance or of their previous cutoff mark. I'll provide it after this video. In the previous year, you discover that I think it was even 160, not 180, Federal University or Ekiti. They accepted their admission cutoff mark for agriculture was around 160. So if you scored something between 160 and 190 something, you'll be given admission to study anything related to agriculture in Federal University of Oyekiti, Federal University of Oyekiti rather. And not only that, when you are through, see, the university will equip you with the necessary skill you need to navigate anything related to agriculture. And top-notch companies will locate you. If you apply to those companies, you will be able to get a reasonable job that will put reasonable food on your table. And let us now assume that you are not interested in applying to any company. Maybe you have resources, maybe you have a large expanse of land. You can also use your certificate, based on the knowledge you have gathered from the course you have studied at the university. You can use it to make something reasonable out of your life. You can become a producer of anything that you want to produce, in as much as it is related to agriculture. So why would you, or why should you keep chasing after those courses and you waste first year, second year, third year at home just because you want to study medicine, you want to study nursing, and then God has blessed you with everything you need. God has, provided that enabling environment for you to thrive. Aliko Dangote, that we know of, thrives in, he's even the richest man in Africa. And what was he basically into? Before now, Aliko Dangote was into food production. Now, think of the food. Okay, just think of the number of people in the country as we speak. The number of people in the country as we speak. Is there anyone that can live a day without food? So if the population keeps increasing, it then means that your market, if you venture into anything that is related to agriculture, if you venture into it, it then means that your market will be what? Will be expanding. And anything related to food, food business can never go out of business. And I'm not just talking about food. There are so many other things you can study in agriculture. You have fish farming, just keep thinking of them. People keep, pursuing this, they keep purchasing this, they keep buying this on daily basis. Like every second, people must eat. Every second, people must do one or two things related to agriculture. You may say that this is the particular line that you want to face, that you want to focus on. And in the long run, you will discover that you'll be making something reasonable with your life. So I will implore you to take a very close look into agriculture. That is the first course that I'll be discussing with you. The very first course I'll be discussing with you. And another thing is this. If this sound is not clear enough, I want you to leave it in the chat. Just leave a comment in the chat to tell me that the sound is not clear enough. And if it's clear enough, just leave it in the chat that, oh, this sound is great. Please do that before I proceed, because I cannot even hear myself. Just make sure you leave something in the comment section to, to prompt me or to keep me abreast of the sound, because I'm very sure the quality of the video is top notch. But the sound, are we sure if the sound is great? No, I am not sure of that. So please leave it in the comment section. Just tell me that, okay, this sound is great, so that I can proceed to the next course. I am waiting. Please, I'm waiting. Just leave it in the chat. That's okay. The sound is great. That is in the comment section. The sound is great. In as much as you are leaving it there that, okay, the sound is great, I'll be able to proceed to the next one. I am waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Have it at the back of your mind that this is a live video. You can chat with me, you can discuss with me, you can ask me questions, and right here I will provide solution to whatsoever problem you are coming in with. Don't forget, it is all about gaining admission into any university of your choice with what? With low JAMB score. You have scored very low in UTME. Does that mean that your dream of gaining admission into the university is over? No. No, your dream of gaining admission into the university is not over. In fact, low UTME score might be a blessing in disguise. Because what is the essence of scoring so high? And after scoring so high, you will now study a course that in the long run, you'll now be looking for what to do with your life. So please, let me know in the chat, let me know that, okay, this sound is great. If this sound is not great, I can just do what? I can just start again. And I have to confirm that my microphone is working properly. Okay. So the microphone is doing well, and I want to believe that the quality of the video is also great. So what I'm expecting from you is just leave a comment in the chat that the sound is great, so that I can proceed with the next one. Okay, is it that I disabled chat? Okay, no problem. So let us just continue. Let us continue. I'm very sure if the sound is not good enough, you'll not still be hanging around till now. Now, another course. Okay, before I talk about the next course, just understand that if you are opportuned or if you applied into agricultural science, understand that Nigerian economy depends heavily on agriculture, and there is a constant demand for skilled agricultural experts. So studying agricultural science can lead to careers in agro businesses. It can lead to career in agro businesses. It can lead to career in research and it can lead to career in food production and even entrepreneurship in farming and agro processing. Is that taken? So I think that is the summary of everything that I have to say concerning agriculture. So let us move to the next one. The next one is the next course that you should be thinking of is anything related to religious studies or theology. Religious studies or theology. You know, these courses, they don't make sense to people that are not ready to make sense out of them. This particular one will not make any sense to anyone that is not ready to make sense out of it. But I want you to, you know, as you are standing there or as you are watching me, think of the number of churches on your street. Think of the number of mosques that you have on your street. Just think of those. And I'm not just talking about, you know, all these small churches, because it is bad for me to call them mushroom churches. Now, think of your locality. Think of that environment that you find yourself. Think of the number of big churches that are even bigger than some organizations that you apply to. Now, think of the number of huge people, great people, people of note, people that, you know, well-meaning individuals that attend those churches or even the mosque. In fact, mosque generally, whenever you go to a mosque and the mosque has reasonable number of people, be rest assured that among those brethren that are lining up beside each other, you have a billionaire among them, you have this among them, you have that among them. So I am not saying that, okay, you should study these religious studies just because of those billionaires that are among them. No, what I'm basically saying is this. If you study this course, if you study anything related to religious studies, you have great opportunity that no one is even going to, that no one is going to have. Please have that at the back of your mind. Now, if you are passionate about religion or ethics, this is a solid course with a low entry barrier. If you are interested in what? If you are interested in religion or you are interested in ethics, for those that, okay, some people will tell you that if you study philosophy, you will not gain admission, you will not be able to make anything reasonable out of your life. See, forget, if you know the exact, or better still, if you have reasonable information about employment opportunity, to get employment, to do anything reasonable with your life, with philosophy is very, very easy. Are you with me? It is very, very easy. Okay, I have a chat here. Bro, where are you from? Bro, what's your name? And that is from Dev Vishwakama. Roadmap to reach MIT. Okay, let us see. Let me reply this person. Okay, like I told you, my name is Chijuade Olushola Samson, and I'm from Nigeria. Chijuade Olushola Samson, I'm from Nigeria. And everything that you are seeing in this video is all about how to gain admission into tertiary institutions, not just tertiary institutions, how to gain admission into universities in Nigeria with low UTME score. UTME is Universal Tertiary Matriculation Examination. That is the examination that is mandatory for all candidates aspiring to study in the university or in other tertiary institutions. The examination that they must write before gaining admission. So UTME is organized by JAMB. So JAMB is the body that gives admission to any candidate aiming to study in any tertiary institution in Nigeria. So I hope I've been able to answer your question. That is Dev Vishwakama. Yes. So I was saying something about getting employment opportunity with philosophy. I have a cousin. I will not mention his name anyways. I have a cousin who currently works with Lagos State Judiciary. And what did he study in the university? He studied philosophy from the university, from Lagos State University. We went to the same university together. He studied philosophy from LASU, and currently he works with Lagos State Judiciary. So tell me, do you know of anyone? You can leave it in the comment section. Do you know of anyone who studied philosophy and is doing well in life? Please leave it in the comment section to encourage others that are skeptical about that course, to encourage them to pick it up so that they can make something reasonable with their life. And for anyone that loves knowledge, because basically philosophy is the study, or it is the love for knowledge. It is derived from, it is coined from Greek word, which is philo, and sophia, which is love. Okay, sophia is love, and philo is knowledge. That is love for knowledge. So if you are the person, if you are the type that is inquisitive, that wants to know more about things, that you just want to know about things, you just want to know more about how everything you see around you work, you just want to question things, you can study philosophy. And philosophy can actually lead to you having critical thoughts, or this critical thinking of a thing. And companies are looking for people that can think critically, people that can think outside the box. You are welcome. People that can think outside the box. So if you are the type that is interested in studying anything that will make you to think outside the box, you don't need to know how to do that even before you apply. When you get to the university, you will meet with lecturers that you twist your mind, that will turn you, that will grind you, that will, that will give you the skill to think critically. Please have that at the back of your mind. And as a philosophy graduate, you can also end up in educational sector, not just as philosophy graduate. Even if you had studied anything related to religion, you can end up in the educational sector. You can become a lecturer, either in philosophy or even in religion. So graduates often become educators, counselors, or work with faith-based organizations. So if you studied anything related to religion generally, you can work with faith-based organizations. It is not compulsory that it is a church. It is not necessary that it must be a mosque, rather. In as much as it is faith-based, you have the opportunity to work with them, because it will be part of the requirement that they will need in the long run. And when you have it, please, you should also have it at the back of your mind that a certificate that you have that you don't need is far better than a certificate that you need and you don't have. I'll take that again. A certificate that you have but you don't need is far better than a certificate that you need but you don't have. So if you have a certificate in philosophy, a certificate in religion, you then discover that in the long run, opportunities will open, doors of opportunities will open naturally, effortlessly onto you. And when that time comes, you discover that you'll be moving upward without having any hindrance. So please have that at the back of your mind. It is also one of those courses that prepare you for roles in leadership within religious institutions. So if you are to take up any course related to religion, you can eventually become a leader in any religion-based organization. Is that taken? So the next course that we'll be looking at, that is the next course we'll be looking at, that you can study with a low UTME score, that will put food on your table in the long run, that is relevant, that is peculiar to our economy. When you are picking up a course, always think of the economy. Think of, the possibility of the course putting food on your table. So if in the long run, the course you are studying is not going to put food on your table, or it is not peculiar, or it is not going to work properly, or it is not going to in any way get anything reasonable for you from the current economic situation that we find ourselves, then please don't apply to any university to study that kind of course. And these courses that I'm mentioning, these are courses that will give you opportunity to do what? To become whoever you want to be in the long run. So the next course might sound weird, but I can tell you for sure that it is one of those courses that, most people, they overlook. But if you study this particular course, I can assure you that you can even become a boss of your own. You can become an entrepreneur, just like the first one that I mentioned. You can become a boss of your own. You can become an entrepreneur. And there are so many organizations that are looking for people like you, people who have those courses. In fact, this particular course. And the course is home economics. This course is one of those courses that people will say that, it is not good, it is not. It's a lie, Who is your advisor? This course may not seem popular, but it is practical and career rich. As an home economist, you can do anything you want to do, in as much as you understand the basics, in as much as you are, you are properly equipped with the skill. Am I making any sense at all? So home economics graduates can work in, they can work in food and nutrition, textile design, family life education, or even start their own business. They can work in any company that is into food and nutrition. Maybe you want to work in House of Chi. Yes, House of Chi. Or no, is it House of Chi or Dufil? Maybe it's Dufil, yes. They are those ones that they produced Chivita and others. You want to work in any of these big companies that are into food and beverages. As an home economist, you can work with them effortlessly. That is why we said it is career rich. There are so many opportunities, so many doors that that are open to you if you can pick this particular course. If you want to go into textile design, if you remember very well, when you were doing your practical in GSS 3, you discovered that you learned so many things. You learned different type of means, stitches, and every other thing. When you get to the university, you'll be equipped with greater skill. And with this skill, dearest, you can become anything you want to be. You can work in a company that is, in a textile designing company. Am I making any sense? You can also become a family life educator. You can have your own organization, and what you'll be doing basically is to educate people, is to educate family generally. And Nigeria is becoming one of those countries that seek experts in every aspect of their lives. So why should you look at a course that is career rich, a course that can drive you or that can make you anything that you want to be, only to study one of those courses that in the long run you discover that there is no career prospects in there? Are you with me? And you can even start your own business. You can start your own business as an home economist. You can start your own business. You can end up becoming a renowned caterer or even an interior decorator. So home economics is just one of those courses that people overlook, but still will not just put food on your table on a daily basis, but create a lifelong income opportunity for you. Please have that at the back of your mind. And if you are making sense, or if you are getting value from this video, I will implore you to please leave a comment in the session. Abi, yes, just ask any question. Leave a comment in the comment section. Ask me any question about anything that you want to know. So the next one we are looking at is theater arts and performing arts. Theater arts and performing arts. If you are creative and enjoy storytelling, if you are the type that is creative and you enjoy storytelling, or you enjoy drama or media, this course offers a great part. It offers a great part. Nigerian entertainment industry is becoming big. It is booming, and theater arts graduates can find work in film, TV, event production, or become actors, directors, or playwrights. And theater arts, you don't need to score so much before you can gain admission into some of these universities. In as much as you are not going to OAU, you are not going to Unilag, and you are not going to Uniben, those universities that you must have scored study. Is that okay? So there is, in fact, I am very, very surprised that currently in Nigeria, one of the institutions, like the best theater performing institution in Nigeria, requires a very low UTME score. And people are not even thinking of that university. And the university is Ekiti State University. From the information that I was able to gather that that particular department is one of the best in Nigeria. And graduates from that university, they become anything that they want to be, most especially from that particular department. They become whatsoever they want to be in that their field. Another thing you should also take note of is this. You remember that, no, not even remember that, you would have noticed that when you go to your TikTok, you see so many videos. You see so many things that interest you that you want to keep watching and you just keep scrolling, you keep scrolling. Now, the moment you keep scrolling, you keep seeing different content by different people, and these content creators, they are making huge amount of money. Now, imagine a situation whereby you are naturally talented with keeping people at the front of their screen or keeping people glued to their screen. You are naturally talented with that, and you have studied something that is related to it, and you are a graduate. The moment you are through with it, you can just start anything on your own. You can work in any organization that is generally into media, that is into TV and event production. You can work with those organizations effortlessly, and you will have something reasonable. In fact, people that did not study theater art, they are making good money from theater art. I mean, huge amount of money from just standing in front of the camera. Not to talk of you, that you went to the university to study that. Let us talk about some influencers that they are making money just by showing their faces and by talking and just by making people laugh. Let's talk about Pella. Number one, Pella as at the moment I am recording this video, or as at the moment we are streaming this live, Pella, that is Azan, Habib Azan. He has not gone to any university and is the most followed TikToker in Nigeria. What does he do? He only comes to the camera, he stands in front of the camera, and then he just acts. He just, assumes to be anything, and then he discusses with people randomly, naturally, and he's making huge amount of money from it. A very young boy. I think before age 19, he had already made a lot of millions. And as we speak, if I'm not mistaken, he's a billionaire just from earning from TikTok. And he also has, YouTube page. And another thing is that this world has gone beyond you waiting for this traditional film production before you can make something reasonable out of your life. Am I making any sense? You don't have to meet any traditional film producer to become anything. In as much as you have your camera, in as much as you have everything, you have, not even your camera, your smartphone, in as much as you have it with you, you can become anything. Please have that at the back of your mind. And the next course, I told you that the last one is the most important one. Not that it is the most important one, it is the one that will actually wow you. It is the one that will make you, it will send shock to you naturally. Because a lot of people are looking at it that it is not lucrative enough. Says who? And we are not going to the course yet. So I will implore you to stick with me to the very end of this video. So by the time I'm through with it, you will understand that, okay, this course is actually going to help you to become whoever you want to become. And of course, we should be looking at that you can pick up is local language. Local language. Maybe you were in art. Yes, let's say you are in the art in the department. Yes, let us say you were in the art department, or you are an art student. You can pick up a local language like Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa. Go to the university, study it. There are so many opportunities. These indigenous languages, or these indigenous courses or language courses, they do not only preserve culture, but are essential in education, broadcasting, and translation. You can become a news broadcaster by picking up these local languages. When you study mass, see, if you go to the university to study mass communication, that does not necessarily mean that you become a newscaster. It does not mean that you eventually become someone great in the long run. But if you pick, let us assume that you pick a course like Yoruba, there are so many people, like millions of people, that are looking for broadcasting Yoruba generally. Imagine that you have equipped yourself with that knowledge and you can gather a lot of information. You can even start something on your own. You can have a YouTube channel that basically what you'll be doing is just to broadcast in Yoruba. You can work with any company that needs translation. In fact, you can become an ambassador to whoever, or become a translator to whoever, both inside Nigeria and outside Nigeria. You can leave the shore of Nigeria to other countries. You can leave the border of Nigeria to other countries to teach this local language. For example, in Brazil, they speak Yoruba, and they are always in need, or they are always in search of people that speak Yoruba fluently to come and teach them. Countries like United States of America, the United Kingdom, they need Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa language teachers, people that have good knowledge in those subjects. So why would you chase a career opportunity in something that will not put food on your table, instead of coming to something that is streamlined to put food in your to put food on your table and to put money in your pocket for life? So I will implore you, pick up a course that will put food on your table. So these indigenous languages do not only preserve culture, but are essential in education, broadcasting, and transition. There is a growing demand for local language experts in media, education, and publishing, especially with effort to promote African identity. I also gather that some people, that is in the Western countries, some people believe that Africa is just a street, without understanding the dynamics and diversity in Africa. So with your own language, with this local language that you have gone to the university to study, you can broadcast, you can prove to them, you can show the world that, okay, Africa is diverse in all ramifications. There is diversity in every aspect of African life. So that is another one to consider. And finally, before I review this last one, I want you to ask me questions on the ones that I've discussed with you previously. And I also want to be sure that we are doing well here in terms of the video, in terms of everything that we are doing here. I want to be sure that we are doing well. I want to be sure that it is not as if the video is paused. It is not as if something is wrong with the audio. It is not as if the quality of the video has dropped, because it is important that you gather a lot of information. You gather information that you need, to thrive or to gain admission into that tertiary institution effortlessly. So you will permit me to quickly go to the camera, because what I'm seeing right now is that the quality of the video is bad. So I'll quickly go to the camera to check one or two things to be sure that, okay, we are getting reasonable feedback, or we are getting reasonable view from this. So please, I'll be back in the next 30 seconds. Okay, so like I told you, I want to be sure, because this last one that I'm about to review to you, it will really surprise you that you have something like that, and then you'll be looking for what is not lost up and down. So I am here now. Yes, the quality of the video is better than before. So the last one is, please, before I even discuss the last one, I want you to share this video with your friends. Share this video. Make sure that the thumbnail, make sure that it comes up before you share. Let them see what you have here, because I'm very sure by the time they watch this, you might be saving someone from staying at home for another year. It does not make sense if you have access to information like this and your friend who needs this is somewhere, crying, thinking of, okay, what next to do? And maybe it is another year. Maybe by next year, he has to write another examination. So please, I want you to share this. Please help us to share this video with your friend and give us thumbs up. Like this video, because that will help us. Just click on this share icon. There is a share icon there. Click on it and share it on WhatsApp with your friends. Share it in the group, any group that you find yourself, that you know that, okay, your friends they will surely appreciate this. And I'm very sure they will share it with every of their friends, with every friend that they have. So before I discuss the last one with you, remember that what we are looking at is, we are looking at courses that you can study, that you don't need to score above 200. Courses you can study with, low JAMB score. And these courses are not just you are not just going to the university to study them. These courses will put food on your table. You'll be comfortable with them in the long run. And they require low JAMB score. So we've discussed agricultural science. In fact, agricultural science, I discussed it extensively, and I want, if you are watching this video and you have, you've watched it to this moment, I want you to go back to listen to that part, everything that I discussed about agricultural science, anything related to agriculture generally. Please make sure you, if you are science oriented, or you studied, or when you were in secondary school, you were a science student, try as much as possible to, explore this opportunity. Another one that I said, another one that I discussed was religious study or theology. I also discussed home economics, which is very, very important. And nobody is even, most of you are not even thinking of it. You want to become doctors, you want to become nurses. And you've also forgotten that Nigeria universities is not big enough to cater to the needs, or to even give admission to a lot of students that want to study medicine or nursing. You discover that each university has quota. In fact, I gathered that Obafemi Awolowo University, maybe their quota for medicine is between 150 and 150 and 200, and some other universities 100, 150. So why would you waste your time in going to, in pursuing a course that the country has not even made enough provision for, and in the long run you will not end up gaining admission in that year? Why can't you just go to a university to study a course that the entry requirement is not as huge as those ones you are looking at, and in the long run you will be able to put good food on your table? Another one that I did not discuss, that I have not discussed with you, is library information science. Library information science, I have not discussed this. With the world shifting towards digital information and data management, this course is becoming more relevant than ever. It's great for students interested in organization, research, and IT. You can work in schools, universities, government agencies, or digital archives. So you can pick up a course in library and information science, and before you know it, your prospects, your opportunity, career prospects is very huge. And finally, okay, before the last one that I'll be discussing with you, I told you that you can also pick up theater arts and performing arts in universities that do not require 200 and above. Another one is local language. All these courses, you'll be looking at them that, oh, these courses are not, but in the simple truth is, if you know how to navigate your way around these courses, they are not just going to give you food, they will make you great people in the long run. And the last course that I'll be discussing with you for today is something that even I am benefiting from. Yes. I remember very well. My first UTME was in 2008, and I did pretty well. Yes, I did pretty well. I was given admission to Obafemi Awolowo University, but posterity had it that I could not go to the university then due to one or two things, or due to one or two reasons. I had to stay at home. In 2011, I also applied to study. I applied to study economics, also at Obafemi Awolowo University. But what happened? I was unable to even go to the university to write their post-UTME because I didn't have enough on me. I was the one, always running after catering to my own need, academic-wise and every other thing. And I was even responsible for my schooling. 2014, I wrote another UTME and I did pretty well. I did very well. So instead of applying, okay, I actually applied to Obafemi Awolowo University in 2014. But just because of the admission, I think during that time, they wanted to expand the number of candidates that the university can take in as at that time. The message that was sent to me, as at that time, you would receive admission notification as SMS. The message that was sent to me at first, I remember very well, they said, "Dear Shijuade Olushola Samson, due to quota limitation, we are sorry that we cannot offer you an admission for now." That was back then in 2014. And the last sentence in that message was that, "Please check back." to see your admission status. And just because of, my lack of proper information or knowledge as at that time, I concluded that no, this university did not give me admission, and I did well. But I expected that by then they should give me admission because I applied to study economics at Obafemi Awolowo University. That same year, I went to the university to write their post-UTME, and I also did pretty well. But then, between 2008, from 2007 to 2014, I engaged myself in teaching. I've been teaching from one school to the other, going from one, I organized tutorials, I did a lot of things and this and that. And, it was looking like, okay, I had already developed interest in teaching generally. And then a friend of mine just called me and told me, Shola, Lagos State University, that is my alma mater, the school where I graduated from. He told me that, Shola, Lagos State University, they are selling form. It does not matter if you had picked the university. I think at that time, change of institution was not really as relevant as what you have now. He said, just buy their form, go for their post-UTME. As at that time, Lagos State University was even still writing post-UTME. I think it was our set that the university, our set was the last set who wrote the post-UTME examination into Lagos State University. He told me, pick the form. And when I bought the form, when I got to the place that I would register, that I would do everything, because I did it myself personally, I saw economics, and then I saw economics education. I saw economics, and I also saw economics education. And I looked at it that, okay, economics is a very great course. I didn't have anyone to advise me. I didn't have anyone to guide me. I didn't have anybody to tell me that, okay, this is what you have to do, or this is what you are not to do. I just looked at it. Okay, I love teaching. Let me go for economics education. And then I applied to Lagos State University to study economics education. Also bear in mind that I did not claim to be an indigenous of Lagos State, although my mother is from Ikorodu, and I was born and brought up in Ikorodu. And I know, in fact, I lived in our compound, like in our own Atewo. I lived in our compound. I know everything. So if I had claimed Lagos, my grandpa is still alive as at this moment. May God keep him, spare his life, and may God let him to live long, even in strong health that God has, given him. So if I had claimed to be a Lagosian, I would not have just been given consensus on the fact that I'm a Lagosian. It would be easy for me because, on my own, I know everything that all the questions that they would ask. I knew everything. Even till now, I still know. And a call to my grandpa or a call from my grandpa would have just meant that, okay, I'll, gain admission as a Lagosian. But then I decided to stick with where my father is from, which is Osun State, Ife. So, you understand by now you should understand. And don't forget that Lagos State University is a state university, and they consider their own indigene before they consider any other person. But then I applied to study economics education, and when the admission list was out, to the glory of God, with my own level and everything, don't forget I wrote their UTME and I did well in their post-UTME rather. Before you know it, I was given admission to study economics education. When I got home and I told, the people that were ready to sponsor me that, sir, I gained admission to study economics education. When I said economics, they were like, they were very happy. But the moment they had education, they were like, why education? Why can't you just study economics instead of education? But then I didn't really know the response to give them. I just said, sir, it's because I love teaching. That's why I decided to pick economics education. They're like, okay, Motibo. You understand? I've heard. And then they let me be. When I eventually resumed, it was then that I gathered the information that I need. Bless me. Sorry. It was then that I gathered the information that I needed, that education is not just education in Lagos State University. Your cognate faculty will be social sciences, while your main faculty will be what? Will be education. But then when you are graduating, you'll be graduating with 2 honors. That is honor in education and honor in social sciences. But then there's a catch to it. The catch is that you must have tried as much as possible to take some relevant courses, some relevant courses in economics. For example, if you are the type that is not interested in fundamental mathematics or in mathematics generally, it is possible that you just end up studying anything, or you just end up getting anything, and you might not even be able to proceed to do economics major in your second degree, that is your master's. So I devoted my time to study so hard. I was able to grasp everything I needed in mathematics. I did econometrics, I did microeconomics, both intermediate and advanced. I did macroeconomics, intermediate and advanced, and my faculty courses were top-notch. So when I applied to Unilag to do my master's in economics, I also wrote their entrance examination, and it was easy for me. But please take note of this, that I did what? I studied education. In my postgraduate studies, I applied to study what? To study economics major. Now, what message am I trying to pass? The message I'm trying to pass is, if you pick up a course in education, are you with me? If you pick up a course in education, you are not limiting yourself to education alone. In as much as you know what you are doing, you can become even that same thing that you wanted to study. Let us say you've always wanted to study economics or accounting, but just because of your low UTME, you applied to study accounting education or economics education. I didn't score low in UTME. Trust me, I didn't score low at all. So let us now say, because of that, you didn't score high. You now choose to go to do what? You now choose to study accounting education, economics education, biology education, chemistry education. You see these courses, you can do masters in other fields. In fact, I know of a friend of mine who studied economics education with me and is into transport now. I know of another person that also studied economics education that is doing his masters in business administration as we speak. Are you with me at all? So I am sharing this with you based on real life experience. And one beautiful thing about educational courses generally is this: in as much as you have applied to study education in any university, in the long run, if you are not planning to work with any organization, you can own an organization of your own, just like the organization that has given you opportunity to watch this video, Acadais Tutors. I started Acadais Tutors in 2022, and to the glory of God, we have been able to see so many students, hundreds of students. We've been able to see them through into the university. As we speak, we have students who are studying medicine, law, accounting. We have students who are studying medicine, law, accounting in, all universities in Nigeria. And still, I have my second degree in economics major. So what I'm saying is this: when you study economics education, or you study anything related to education generally, you are not just going to be limited. You are not going to be limited to teaching alone. It is not just teaching alone that you'll be limited to. You can explore that field after you've completed your first degree. You can explore that field after you have completed your first degree. And not only that, you become a professional, you can even become an educational consultant, just like me. So just think of any course, look at any course that is education related in any university, apply, and then your admission will be effortless. Your admission will be smooth without any problem. And we have come to the end of this particular session. If you found value in this, please remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with your friend, because this information should not just be here. It should not just be here for the sake of being here. Share it with your friends, because I am very sure you have one or two friends of yours who need information like this. You have one or two friends of yours who need information like this, who are they do not even know what to do with their life because they scored low. Are you with me? But over time, being the fact that, okay, I've been doing this for long, Yes, although before I started Akadais, I've been doing one or two things. I've been, into educational consultancy with different organizations before starting this. I've even taught in different schools, top-notch schools, mushroom schools, government schools. My teaching practice was in government school, not just one government school. I did two teaching practices, one somewhere around Ojo and the other one in Ikorodu. And to the glory of God, we've been able to see different students gain admission into universities, and they are doing well. So you don't have to necessarily study law, medicine, accounting. In as much as you have a UTME score, you can use that UTME score to apply to any university of your choice, and your admission will be smooth if you know the right thing to do. And that is what I've shared with you in this video. And I appreciate you for sticking with me till this very moment. And by God's grace, next time we are going to explore another topic entirely. So, and by then, we would have been able to create different information. We would have been able to gather information that you will not just need, that will also lead to you watching the next one. So, I'll see you in the next video. My name is Shiju Adeolushola Samson from Akadais Tutors. Thank you.